Hi, Raiders. We're back into Shelf Life. It is a compilation of stories written by several authors. Each author has their own chapter, which from start to end is a full story. Today, I'm going to read with you a story called In Your Hat. Okay, so I want you to get to page 11 so you can join me. I'm going to read the first few pages and then you're going to carry on with your own. It's by Ellen Conford. While we're reading this story, I want you really alert with what character traits does Ariel, one of the main characters, possess? So we have that all tucked into our slides, but what character traits does Ariel possess? Online learners, you do not have this hardback book, but you have a link to all of the pages necessary for today. So enjoy that. I was in the non-silent study area of the library on the last Sunday of midwinter break when Ariel Greenbanks noticed me. I'd been trying to get Ariel Greenbanks to notice me for almost 2 years now, and the results had been grim to none. So when she paused next to my chair that afternoon, I seized the opportunity. Hey, good looking, I said. Come here often? As a matter of fact, yes. She picked up a couple of the books littering the table in front of me. Joseph Conrad, she said. Jane Austen? Well, I hesitated. She was seeing a side of me she'd never seen before, which wasn't surprising since I don't have that side. Apparently, she'd like the Mensa type. That was probably why my great sense of humor and my legendary reputation for practical jokes had never really attracted her. Well, that and maybe the handcuffs. But you can't base a relationship on lies, I told myself. It would be dishonest. I couldn't pretend I was an intellectual giant, at least not for more than 11 minutes. Actually, I began, I'm kind of in a crisis here. Well, what kind of crisis? Ariel asked. An emergency book report, I told her. Oh, well, when is it due? Tomorrow. She raised her eyebrows. Tomorrow, she repeated. That is an emergency. Yep, I sighed deeply. Well, which one of those or these did you read? She asked. I haven't exactly gotten to the reading stage yet, I admitted. I didn't want to tell her that I had only gotten to the which is the shortest book you can find stage. Wow. She looked up at the clock over the reference desk. Dennis, she said, you're in big trouble. I know. And yet, Ariel Greenbanks was talking to me. Ariel Greenbanks cared about my emergency. Ariel Greenbanks, she was wearing a cute pink sweater and she smelled just like carnations. Suddenly, all my troubles seemed so far away. She slid into the chair next to mine. She scooped some of the books towards her and started examining the titles. She wanted to help me. I didn't move. I could hardly breathe. I was afraid I was imagining all of this and that at any moment she would just disappear. So I just sat there and breathed in that carnation scent, and I let my eyes rest on the pinkness that was Ariel. All of these are pretty short, she said. Yeah, short was the first requirement, I answered. Short and with big print. Her eyes narrowed. She frowned. I mean, because of the crisis, I explained quickly. If I didn't have to hand in the report tomorrow, I mean, it's not like I don't like to read or anything. Maybe you could write about something that you've already read, Ariel suggested. What was the last book that you liked? The Sponge People of Siberia. Ariel nodded. I see what you mean. Not a book report book. Mr. Franzetti has this blind prejudice against science fiction, I complained, and I just don't get it. Okay, well, have you read anything that isn't science fiction? She asked. The Microbe Hunters, I said, but I can't use that one either. Well, why not? She asked. Well, the thing is, I decided that now was not the time to explain. Why tell Ariel that after 4 years of handing in the same book report that I'd written in seventh grade, the book report cops had finally caught up with me. Frankly, I don't think teachers ought to be allowed to trade information about their students with other teachers. Isn't that like a breach of doctor-patient confidentiality? I'm on page 14, top of the page. Your responsibility is to continue. Enjoy.